Hello, hello, hello. You are here. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Radio Free Wall Street. A hot Saturday day. And we got a hot market. Stock market's been on a tear, especially the NASDAQ, which has put in a record high. S&P 500 and the Dow has not. Now, this great rally we have is based on another tech wreck scenario, and this time it's the FANGs. I want to make sure that you are well prepared for what's coming up in the market. We are 90 days from another big market drop. This will start the bear market, in my opinion. And, of course, it will be contested and denied, but price action has confirmed to us what we've been saying all along, is that you got a grossly overvalued market. You've got stocks in companies that are trading at valuations that have no basis in reality. And when that happens, that, for a guy like me, is the clarion call. In other words, as you know, I'm very bearish. Economic growth is slowing. The Fed is putting us into a recession. Donald Trump's putting us into trade wars, or at least creating enough uncertainty that it's just as bad as a trade war or worse. Federal Reserve is raising interest rates, and that's going to drive us into recession. So pretty certain that we're going into tough times. And the stock market at some point will come unglued, fall apart, reverse, do a swan dive off a cliff, and die. And if I told you I think the stock market is going to lose 80% of its value, you go, that's not possible. I've been there for that kind of action before, but let's say it loses half its value. That puts a lot of people in the poorhouse. Now, what has been driving the stock market? In other words, what are the internals looking like? Guys like me look at it and say, well, what are your earnings per share? That's nice, but earnings per share can be manipulated by you controlling the number of shares outstanding. What's your top line growth? You have none. What's your bottom line net? Well, it's not looking as good. The earnings are shrinking but on a per share basis, they're increasing. So what do I have? I've got the greatest amount of financial engineering of corporate balance sheets ever. I've got a GDP report that was based on military spending. When you build a tank and you park it in a yard somewhere, tank is not a money-making machine. You get that same amount of money in the economy and you build a tractor. Well, that tractor's out there producing money. It's plowing the fields. It's harvesting the grain. There's a big difference between military spending, which is a one-time growth for military contractors, but the wealth doesn't get spread through the economy unless you got like a World War II situation where everybody's working in a factory. That's not the case. So because military factories are very limited in their size, and as far as a manufacturing industry, it's not the colossal that would change the numbers. So we got a GDP report that's bogus. We'll get another one that's bogus, and then the real reports will come out. Now, remember, I'll put it to you this way. If you want to know what happened, pick up a copy of the Wall Street Journal, 25 cents. If you want to know what's happening, tune into Reuters or Bloomberg, a little more money. Okay? But now if you want to know what's going to happen, that's the business I'm in. And what's going to happen is the biggest stock market downturn ever. Now, we're already seeing signs in it, okay? The GDP report was a monster. It was a monster in that a lot of the gains were for people buying inventories ahead of time. In other words, it wasn't that your business is growing. You're buying inventories because you want to get ahead of sanctions stopping your supply. Many smart businessmen laid in the steel, for example. In fact, they cleaned out the steel off the shelves throughout America because they did not want to get caught in the higher tariffs. That's not a boost to the economy. Okay, that's just the opposite. That's somebody preparing for incoming. You're going to have a bombshell, so we're going to go in the bomb shelter. You're not adding more employees. You're figuring out how to lay them off. You are putting in price increases now on the basis of what they are and using cheap steel to give yourself a bonus that you bought before the increase. And everybody's playing that game. So the inventory numbers are distorted. Then we had a miracle. A miracle of all miracles is that a light came from heaven and everybody in America doubled the amount of money they saved. I saw an article that Wall Street Journal is running explaining how the numbers were not calculated correctly, and now all of a sudden they are, and all I can say is, bullshit. Okay, Americans aren't saving money. Talk to anybody you know, and they're not. So we had a Donald Trump engineer report. Now, the reports have gotten, since Donald Trump has come to town, since he is the liar-in-chief and acknowledges that, if you tell a lie 3 times, people believe it. So our economic reports are bogus. They're lies. They're not valid. Bottom line. And smart people know that. And the reason why is that, look, you had the biggest GDP report in, 4 years? Pretty big number, right? S&P 500 fell 18 points. Dow fell 76 points. The NASDAQ fell 114 points. Now, in normal times, in a normal day, a normal age, a normal market, it'd be a party. Aren't I smart? Well, why was there no party? Because everyone knows it was a manufactured report. Everyone knows the numbers are bogus. Now we're going to have the unemployment report come out. And I just know we're going to have a whole lot more people going to work in the McDonald's hamburger french fry thing. More people are going to go to work in agriculture. We're going to see the numbers, nursing homes. Why? Well, these are all the jobs that illegal immigrants take that they're not coming into the economy en masse, and they aren't taking those jobs. And that means we're forcing levels of the strata of the economy of people who normally stay unemployed. We're forcing them to take those jobs, okay? And you can read between the lines, because do I want to be politically incorrect and say that African Americans are being forced by their patrol officers and the detox center to take jobs, and by the welfare companies as they change the rule? No, I don't want to say that they're being forced to take jobs when normally they would not be. Do I want to talk about legal Spanish American workers, again, being thrown off the welfare rolls? Or people who are out now on supervised release, where normally given some slack, they're forcing them to work? Or can we talk about the fact that many people that have claimed disabilities are having their files reviewed and forced to go into work? No, that's not PC, but that's what's happening. Okay, so we're now forcing the indigent to take employment, and employees are forced to do that. And, you know, if you talk to someone that's managing hotel crews that do the cleanup, people are managing cooks in restaurants, people are managing companies that do lawn care, the low menial labor, they're telling you they can't find help. So there is a shortage because Donald Trump made the market great. No, he didn't. He just didn't allow the normal flow of illegal immigrants to come in. And factory jobs are not going to make America great again. There are many, many studies on that. So Donald Trump's pandering to the people, but that's not where we're at. What we want to talk about today is a economy and stock market that is poised on the edge of the cliff, okay? You can claim all the growth you want, but if it's not there, it's not there. The problem is the stock market rally has been based on, for the past year, basically a few shares of high-tech stocks that have driven valuations to the moon. It's that pretty simple, right? It's not a complicated formula. And if you look at these stocks, you know, you can wake up and say, well, wait a minute. If I've got a market based on just a few stocks that are grossly overvalued, that's not sustainable. That's a market that's going to get in trouble very quickly, okay? I mean, if you want to look at this thing and look at it, you know, Facebook in October, if you go back to like 2016, okay, well, it was trading at $100 a share. It's doubled, okay? If you want to look at Twitter, well, if you go to Twitter back to just September, they were trading at $15 a share. They're now at $40. If you want to look at Netflix, okay, that's another interesting one. Well, let's just go back to Netflix to December 2017. It was trading at $191 a share. It's now trading at $355. Was it the 400? Amazon, that's a great one, not making any money in its operations that involve its internet sales business, okay? It was trading at $900 a share. It's now at $18. Nvidia, another great company, right? I'm really excited about that one. I just can't, I'm so turned on I can't stand it. Well, that baby was trading at $100 a share in May 2017. It's now at $252 a share. Alphabet, Google, Gaga, Google. Well, that baby was trading in the 26th of September 2017 at $900 a share. It's now trading at $1,200. Apple, another great stock showing the great power of American companies and ingenuity and science. If I look at them in August in 2016, they were trading $100 a share. They're now at $190. Tesla, the battery car man from Mars, well, that company was trading at 2016 at $109 a share. It's now at $350. So tell me, how does this shit work out? Tell me how these companies that have had no increase in earnings, that have had huge valuations problem, all of a sudden justify their evaluation, okay? And the answer is No, let's do 1, 2, 3. Duh, they don't. Baidu, part of the FANGs, trading at $165 a share, now at $255. So exactly what is going on here? Well, maybe somebody's bullshitting you. Maybe this is not the healthy, growing, fantastic economy they want to present. Maybe the stock market is based on managers buying into shares that have had huge growth to make their prospects look better. Would they do that? Oh, no, Mr. Bill, please tell me it's not true, right? Right. I mean, you've had the FANG index, it's doubled. Okay. It's outpaced the stock market. And let me tell you another story that you need to know. Here's a little secret. Get closer to the microphone. Most of your hedge fund managers who are stock traders, well, let me tell you something, hedge fund asshole. Everybody's a genius in a bull market. And all that, and all those bonuses you've been collecting, all that money, you get to give it back when the bear market comes and everyone finds out you ain't so smart anyway. And that's where we're at. You are just at that stage. You know, you got to listen to me. These guys are in trouble. These stocks are in serious trouble. These valuations are absurd, and the hedge fund gains are basically in 5 stocks. The stock market gains are 5 stocks. Amazon, I love Amazon, but its model is not going to work, okay? Twitter stock lost 20% of its value on Friday, okay? Twitter stock was trading at $44 a share. It went down to $34 a share. Mr. Zuckerberg, his stock was trading at $218 a share on Wednesday. On Thursday, it dropped to $172. And on Friday, it closed at $174. Let me see if we understand this. From $220 a share to $170? See, that's what I call losing money the old-fashioned way. Now, what you need to understand is this is just the start of what's going to be a major stock market rout. These guys are all in trouble. They are trading at valuations that make no sense in reality. Okay? Facebook, it's nice. Exactly what proprietary, secret, super-duper technology that no one else has can Facebook count on? Nothing. Same thing with Twitter. You know, if you take a survey of the kids, they are now moving to WhatsApp. There's a movement around here. The Apple phone, I love Apple. I have every Apple phone they've made. I have every iPad they made. I don't use their computers. I don't like them, but I've had every one of them. And now I'm loading up with Samsung, and I got the Samsung, was 9, I think the latest one they brought me. What a superior piece of equipment. Far more apps, more availability, and I can get into the thing and chop and shop where the Apple architecture is closed for me. So all of a sudden, I'm moving into a situation where Facebook, Apple, Twitter, what is Netflix? I mean, what are we talking about? A streaming online TV company that's making sure that they try to shock the consciousness with the home-built shows they make? Oh, that's a model for a future success, really? So the market is riding on companies that, and I know it's going to sound funny, that are really obsoleted themselves. Listen, yeah, Alphabet, okay, the search engine, well, they've been gathering so much data now and getting such big finds. Competition coming. I've been using a couple other ones because I'm so tired of, Carpaccia. Click on the street signs. Okay, also the street signs. Oh, then click on the cars. Click on the, forget it. I go to another one. I'm done. I've taken off. I'm going to do my searches elsewhere, okay? The same thing I got with Tesla. The car's a piece of shit. Everybody's moving on it. They got the same batteries. You want to hear something? Every other manufacturer uses the same motors that Tesla does. He has no proprietary anything. They're all buying from the same contractors. So why am I paying Rocket Man a 25% premium? Everybody else is coming on the street. He's done. The Apple computer, we already talked about that. Alibaba? It's a freaking Chinese import business. How long is that model going to work? And Amazon? Amazon's another one. I mean, Jeff Bezos really is a brilliant guy. Don't get me wrong. But you know what his brilliance was? Lately, you want to hear something? His wasn't the online shopping. It wasn't Amazon Prime. It really wasn't, okay? You know what it was? Cloud computing for government services. He understood that market, jumped in front of IBM and everybody else, okay? How secure is that model? President of the United States hates his guts. They will screw him out of his government contracts. And, by the way, I got green tea. When I was doing marketing as a commentary, I was on my Pellegrino seltzer water, which is cold and bubbly. And then they had mercy on me when they heard I was bitching I didn't get my green tea. They made some for me. Saturdays around here is crazy. Summertime, kids are home. Do you have that happening? Oh, my God. During the trading day and trading week, I don't want to see humans. Don't come in the door. I will shoot. Leave the tray there. Then weekends I try to get a little bit more sane, but too much human contact. You can't call me, well, it's like, please don't talk. I don't want to hear this stupid shit. I don't care. Anyway, Netflix, streaming TV channels, holy shit. These are the leaders of the stock market of our time. See, what it is a high-tech darling. Most people do not understand what exactly is Twitter's model. Exactly how does Amazon make money? Alphabet? What is Alphabet's future? Now, when you dissect it, you go, well, Alphabet is a search engine, and it's basically charging for, you see how the search is getting more ridiculous, right? It used to be years ago when you did a Google, you got some pretty good information. Now I got to go to page 5 and 6, and then I got to trip through all the stupid-ass ads of shit I don't want, and then I got to get through the shit that is the paid advertising disguised that is pretending like it's not paid. I'm tired of it. You are too. So their models are changing. Now, add to that the biggest stock market wipeout ever around the near horizon, a great recession coming, and you go in the stock market, look at the journals, and go, well, wait a minute. I got less and less stocks making 52 highs. My volume is drying up, and my down volume is higher than my up volume on most days. And you go, oh, shit, Will Rogers, we got a problem. Danger, danger, danger. So the market's being led. Now, that means the FANG is a great opportunity, and I like the FANG. Of course, I really, really like the S&P 500 and the minis. That's a great way to get at this market if you know what you're doing. You're playing with dynamite there, but if you're ready to play with dynamite, this is the time to start at least putting in the caps and squeezing them off and running the wires to the plunger, because we are about to have a great stock market wipeout. It's going to be so cool. It's going to come unglued. Oh, my God. It is already back to 2007, 8, 9 all over again. Thank you, Donald Trump. Thank you, Federal Reserve. Oh, my. Well, listen, you know that sexy girl that left there? Oh, Miss Federal Reserve Chair Lady, I love you. Please come back. She declared that, listen to this, the days of recessions and stock market downturns were over with. When the Federal Reserve tells me that shit, that's when you double the money in the account because you're going to have to put out a lot more positions because there's going to be a big wipeout. They're always wrong. What Federal Reserve has ever admitted that they're raising interest rates causes a recession? Ever. Who's ever warned about that at a time? I'm now hearing how the new mathematical models show that even though the yield curve is inverting, banks will make more money. Really? I want to see that shit. Oh, yeah, and did I mention the part that the inverted yield curve is not going to be a sign of a recession this time? It hasn't been a sign of a recession. The last 5 recessions were inverted. So we are at happy days are here again. We have great, great market opportunities. These guys are staying up night and day trying to figure out how to make money. Oh, my God. How could I be so lucky? It is the perfect time for a wipeout. I love a wipeout in the autumn, you know. The trees are turning and the colors are everywhere, and stock market guys are packing their suitcases and moving to Costa Rica. And you love it. And then the traders are being fired, or desks are being emptied, and they come to the security desk and pick up your shit. And let me tell you about the bucket trades I got. No, find them for yourself. And that's the other little fun game that's going on there. Let me tell you. Funds, retirement accounts, okay, mutual funds, and especially hedge funds, are chock full of shit. These guys have got huge, unaccounted, unrealized, not mark-to-market losses, and they rely upon the FANG to bail them out. and the FANG's about to bite me in their ass. So we've had a wonderful week. How about that Facebook drop? That's enough to make Zuckerberg consider whether or not he wants to continue plans on his second yacht and building another bigger, greater one. Yeah. And tweet. What exactly do you do that can't be duplicated? So these are companies that found wonderment and amazement among people who didn't understand their models, and they were able to get there as first originators, which is something you've said for that. But you see, there's a little thing that nobody gets so lucky, despite all the bullshit, never to have competition. And as the competition learns your model, as the regulators realize the great crimes Facebook, Twitter, Amazon have committed, they kind of close in on them, right? I mean, and let's not even begin with the man from Mars with his battery car. Oh, you're buying a high-technology car. Oh, well, guess what? The same cameras you're using, General Motors made a deal for him. The same software and chips that are going to run the self-driving vehicles, everyone's got a deal on them. So you got nothing. You have nothing that makes you unique in the marketplace. And see, I don't see General Motors, by the way, going ahead and building cars under a tent. I love that. And as far as the squeeze play, you heard about the squeeze play? Going back to the suppliers and saying, give me money. The suppliers go, what? Go to hell. We won't buy from you anymore. Well, that's okay. If I sell to you, I ain't going to get paid anyway when you go bankrupt, so screw you. That's the sign of an unwinding. Yeah. So we are in the twilight zone. We are getting ready for a market that's getting ready to dive. Are you ready? Are you ready for the coming stock market wipeout? And you know what? You got the lovely FANG just sitting there going, FANG. I mean, I feel like a caveman about to kill a dinosaur. You know what I'm saying? But I don't got one of them. I got a whole bunch of these dinosaurs. Oh, yes. Oh, my God, they're everywhere. And they're just as extinct. They're big, and they're bad, and they're ugly. But when you bring them down, there's a lot of thick, juicy steaks. I want FANG steaks. I want to eat the heart out of Apple and Amazon and NVIDIA and Alphabet and Tulsa. Yes, I do. And Netflix, please. And, Twitter. Tweet. I love chicken stew. Oh, yeah. I want to get that Twitter bird. Really, I want to have fried Twitter birds. And what's so credible about this thing is the valuation of the models are so ridiculous. The upside had nothing to do with earnings, had nothing to do with growth, had nothing to do with anything except financial engineering and a lot of dumb shit hedge fund managers. Why? Well, because if you've got a stock that you can buy at 120, it goes to 200, 220, you look like you're really smart. So these guys were buying in these stocks, they were taking these huge moves. $100 to $200 in Apple. I mean, these are stocks that have been doubling for you. Netflix, let's borrow another couple $100 billion to try to stay in business, going from 100 to 400. Oh, my God, that's crazy shit. Amazon, it's a cloud company. You're going from 1,000 to 2,000. NVIDIA, it's a video board, okay? It's got some great onboard computing from 65 to 252. They are not going to sell that many NVIDIA cards. It's not going to happen. Alphabet, Google, Goggle. Oh, honey, I think she's sexy, that Google girl, yeah. But, you got 30% rise. And Tulsa? Well, I mean, let's face facts. Elon Musk is stark raving mad, okay? And he's not a mad genius. He's a mad bullshit artist. I think him and Trump got a lot of comedy, Going from $200 a share, 140 to 350, doubling? Oh, yeah. Do I want to short the shit out of companies like that? Let me put it into terms that you can understand. Hell yes. I want to short them in the morning. I want to short them in the afternoon. I want to short them in the evening. I want to short them in the summertime. I want to short them in the wintertime. I want to short them anytime, all time, real time, for time. They have no chance. Now, wait a minute. In the biggest rally ever, these guys have gone airborne, right? What happens when the economy slows down? What happens when the regulators start eating their lunch and shutting down this bullshit with their algorithms? What happens when they can't take your data, sell your data, and people going, maybe I just don't need to do a Google search. I'll go with some other search company. What about somebody who says, I don't want to be on Facebook anymore because I don't want anyone to know that I like brown-colored dogs. I might get the cat lady after me. So all of a sudden, I just don't want my information broadcast all over the place. I'm tired that if I go to a shoe company, that I get 35,000 shoe ads for shoes I don't want from companies I never heard of. So obviously they're selling my information. Obviously they're invading my privacy, and obviously making an asshole out of me. Stop the insanity. So you need a load for Bear. You need a load for the FANG wipeout. And by the way, you got 2 confirmations. Thank you, Zuckerberg, baby. I don't like Zuckerberg. I don't like him. I think he's a little prick-looking guy. I have to be honest with you. So I basically had Zucker wipeout for 20% drop on Thursday. And on Friday, I had, another 20% drop. Oh, no, for Twitter. Oh, it's so terrible. And I just, I think to myself, this is just the start. 20% here, 20% there. Pretty soon you got some real losses. And remember, the hedge fund guys, they are so leveraged in these positions. They may be 20% on your sheet. On their sheets, 2,000%. Oh, no, buddy, baby, honey. So I got to tell you that the barbecues at the Hamptons are going to be a lot hotter. I can tell you it's a real bad weekend there right now. I heard buddy might go to. It looks like there's a funeral out here. Let's fly our helicopter to Hamptons. Nah, I think I'll stay in the city and see if I can find where the stove gas comes from. It's like never know when you might need it. So it's getting real ugly. And then you got August time, and then the time of reckoning this fall. Now remember, I want to say to you that these wipeouts happen when you had the biggest percentage increase in GDP in 4 years? Oh, by the way, Obama had those kind of increases, and he didn't have to fake the books, and he didn't have to do the phony tax thing or anyway. I just want to mention that to you. And I am not a Mohammed Obama lover, but Trump's doing every dirty, sleazy trick in the book he can figure out, try to make the economy look good, okay? And then after the election is going to go, oh, never mind. It's a deep state conspiracy. Never mind. And then people are never going to mind. And then the wipeout's going to happen. So, do you want to be rich? Do you want to make a shit pot full of money? I mean, a whole lot of it? Well, guess what? God's smiling on you. Because all this dumb shit the last 10 years, all these overvaluations, well, here's a newsflash. Those chickens are coming home to roost. And they're going to make you a lot of money. And who wants to be a billionaire? Well, it's time. It's time because Zuck's out of excuses. I'm sorry. How many ways can you, by the way, that girl that works for, she's pretty. I like her. She's hot. That's the Zuckerberg girl, right? And, she's hot. And she strikes me as one cool, level-headed babe, right? I'll bet you that some guy that tried attacking her in an alley would really grab it. She stomped the shit out of him. Now, of course, how she's going to handle shareholders in the wipeout, well, that might be a little different. But she is a kick-ass babe and a cutie besides. Brilliant person. And what was her brilliance? Well, pretty simple. You really want to know what her secret was? Let's just get all the information on people and steal it. Put it in a big pile, sell it to advertisers. Deny we're doing it as long as possible. And when we get caught saying, I'm sorry, so sorry, and little problem is, of course, you've destroyed your model and you can't do it again, see? That's called model destruction. You got to hustle, it works, okay? But, eventually the gig's up. Eventually people scratch their ass and figure it out. And people are scratching their ass and figuring it out. So it's the demise of the Facebooks. It's the demise of the Apples. Well, Apple's had a very nice model. You came with a smartphone. And you went to China to build it, and remember how they said it was developed in California and built in China? It's another side of it. Technology's stolen in China, too. You ought to see the phones. By the way, I'll tell you what, American manufacturers, American service providers are drooling to get a chance at these phones that have twice the options at half the price. Oh, yeah, but they're going to hack into this network. You go, okay, oh, you mean Apple hasn't allowed everybody I bought an app from to turn on my microphone, turn on my cameras both front and back, and listen to all that shit? Right. Yeah, the Chinese have hacked into your smartphone. Well, all right, so do you want someone to hack you from California at the NSA office, or do you want someone to hack you from the Peking Duckland? Choose, because either way you're getting hacked, guys. It's like, yeah, it's kind of bad. I feel sorry for anybody that's buying into this tech bullshit. I feel sorry for anybody that hasn't woken up one day and going, I think there's something wrong here. So the biggest stock market rally ever, and the rally, by the way, since we had the fall near-death experience and rally back, I love that. Market's getting ready to do another nosedive. And this rally back was based on 3 stocks. You can make stretch it to 4. 4 stocks carrying the entire market. 4 stocks carrying head fund profits. 4 stocks that are making the whole model work. How do you think that's going to work out? Well, can I paint you a little picture? It's called a biggest bear market ever. You have the longest bull market run ever. You haven't hit bear market points yet, trading points yet, right? Bear market has not happened. And the few shares of stocks that drove that market are going broke as we speak, are under investigation paying fines, are seeing their model decimated. How do you think that's going to end up? Well, that's going to end up in a great big shit. Now, I love stock market shits. I love them. I want to thank you for them because you know why? They put so much money into my pocket. I mean, it's really nice. Stock market wipeouts are the greatest gift of God to people who know how to trade them, understand them. Seriously. Trading gift of God. And stock market bull markets are of the devil. They trick people. They put them into stocks. They forget valuations. They throw away their calculator pencils, and they buy in the herd mentality. And you know what that is? Well, that's a recipe to get wiped out and go broke. How do you like that? Get wiped out and go broke. And we are just such a time, and it's going to be really ugly, and going to be really cool. And I can't wait. And all I can say is Zuckerberg, thank you. Elon Musk mobile. Thank you, Elon. And can we thank Jeff Bozo the clown? Jeff, thank you for your cloud computing for government. And thank you. And I want to thank all my friends there for creating a huge bubble that has no base in reality, a market that cannot be saved, a market that's going to come crashing down and make us a lot of freaking money. Now, do you like money? Oh, you don't? Okay, well then don't trade it. But if you like money, get ready for the biggest stock market rally in history coming to a bitter end, and get ready for a shit at the end of the runway like you've never seen before. Now, you got to be a little patient. It's not exactly time yet, but it's getting close. And then it's going to be, Oh, Mark. Oh, Mark, what did you do, buddy? Anyway, my pleasure being with you. I want you to know that we're on our weekend schedule. Things are a little hairy around here because everybody is in town. And, no, I'm not leaving the compound. No, I'm not going fishing. I don't want to go to the friggin' beach. You get sand in my iPad and stuff, and then it get burned, and you got all these idiots making noise. No, I like it just where I'm at. So I want you to know that they're all on my ass. They're all giving me a hard time, but I will overcome. I'm here for a stock market crash. I don't have time for anything else. Thank you very much. Goodbye. Leave me alone. Go play with the dogs, please. So I said I meant it. I think they're listening in the other room. I'm not leaving. You guys can go yourself. Leave me alone. I don't want to go out for dinner. I want to stay here for the stock market wipeout. Oh, thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. I love it. Listen, think about it. Do you realize how many tens of billions Zuckerberg's going to lose to make you rich? You guys got to thank him. And Bezos, one of the richest men in the world, he's risking his fortune to make you very wealthy. That doesn't happen very often. So I think we should appreciate these people for building these incredible models and then bullshitting everybody to get them overvalued, and now not able to stop the date with destiny where he's like, uh-oh.